thumbs up. Yes, yes. See, the old people know what to do. What's good? What's good? Let's get that chat call out the way, honey. Out the way. Let me see who was first. Regina White was first. Whoa! Shawty! Shawty! What's good with it? Hey, Sonya Davis. Hey, Purple Purple. Hey, Cookie. Hey, Karen J. Dynamite. Yes, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And more importantly, do what? Hit that goddamn like button, or you will be blocked. I hope y'all had a fantastic Sunday. I'm glad y'all came on through. I had to do several jobs today, several jobs. I hope y'all had a good day though. Listen, now y'all know I want the goddamn change. For me to work on a weekend, are you serious? You know I want the goddamn change, honey. Yes. But I was going to go live after Levi last night, but I decided not to. One, I was tired, and two, I thought we had covered a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And here's a third girl, third daughter. Now I'm not sure if I only thought it was just one when it was the two, because I didn't know that the other girl had said anything about being touched or anything like that, right? But here it is. Anyway, it's some old kids, okay? Nevertheless, one was too much, okay? And I just couldn't believe it. I was so happy to see Taylor Mix and all those people. I thought it was a good blend in the on the channel yesterday, on the panel, and on in the chat and everything. So I had a great time. So shouts out to Levi for hosting us and what have you. This is just way too much. This is way too much. And I hate to keep repeating these goddamn old sayings, but hopefully, maybe some of it resonate with you. Maybe some of it, you agree with. Hopefully something. Hey, Warrior Aphrodite. Hey, Samantha Nicole. Hopefully something. Okay. But when I was younger, I couldn't understand why my family was so like pick and choose about who we hung with. Somebody can be approved for hanging, some person would not be. And you can never understand what the fuck was going on, right? And child, listen, this is the reason why I heard some shit, because I not too long got off. I heard some shit today, it's not too long ago. And really over the last couple of days since this stuff been coming out, where I can honestly say, as old as my child is now, I would not let her play with some of y'all kids, and damn she'll go over some of y'all's houses. At her age now, my family always say you don't want everybody to like you, because some of these people just fucked up. Some of these people are just fucked up. And I say this, right? Just take out R. Kelly. Just take R. Kelly out of this situation, because I don't want nobody, because I don't want it to come down to, team Kells and a team lock Hills up, situation. I don't want to come down to that. Let's take him out. But let's just talk about the charges, you know, the minor shit. I don't give a fuck if it happened, if our grandfather parents did it and mine didn't. But if they did, or if our parents did it, or if we did it, or whatever, whenever the law, and in this country, as Levi says, and this is true, is ran by law. Now, and it was created based on natural rights and human rights, right? So there is a human element that is already pre-written in the law. Okay. So what I'm saying is within the law, there's some human elements that deal with your mentality. And you see when you start seeing intent, reason, words like that, right? So you know that they have tapped in to our human nature. They've definitely pulled from psychology to determine a lot of this shit. So whatever underage is to the law, that's what it is. I don't give a fuck who did it. I don't give a damn if what the man name is Jerry Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin and white people and all this shit. I don't give a damn about none of that. If it was not legal, if it was illegal, it's illegal. I don't care if he can get arrested for it or whatever. Whenever it became a law or whatever, but when you think about it, even if it wasn't a law, when you think about it, something about that ain't right. Because 12, 13, 14, and we develop as you get older for us women. A lot of things is going on with our bodies. A lot of things going on in our mind. We start really noticing, guys, boys like with an attraction, like a real attraction, I'll say. But that's usually boys our age. Not no grown ass motherfucking man. It's boys our age. But our bodies are developing. And let me tell you something. And I don't want to go here on a Sunday, but I'm going to have to. I done ran into some stuff that have shaped my very popular opinion around here. For me, this is just my opinion. I don't need no big old dango warrior penis man. I don't require all of that. Okay. I've had several bad incidents with that shit. I'm getting choked up when I'm thinking about it. And it has, and I'm okay with the industry standard. Okay, I'm all right with that. I don't need to be impressed. I don't need to be wore out. I don't need nothing extra. I don't need none of that. I'm okay with whatever they say the regular is. That's fine for me. I don't need a whole lot. Okay, I had some terrible issues running into the wrong type of shit. And I can imagine running into some shit like that at 12, 13, 14, 15. Thank you, Jesus. I didn't run into nothing crazy like that until I was 19. That shaped my whole entire outlook to where I go into counseling sessions. When I'm in a relationship, because I don't have no sex with outside of being in a relationship. This might be too much information, but it's just gonna be too much for you today. Save some for tomorrow if it's too much for you today. But I find myself in counseling sessions, and I will ask that man. This is my spiel. Now y'all might want to write this down just in case you need to refer to this later. I would ask him. I would say, "Hey, looks like we digging each other. I don't know how far this is going to go. Of course, we need to do our blood work and all of that type of stuff. But if it's going in that direction, I think it's going, the way we're going to become intimate. It's something that happened to me real bad when I was 19. I ran into something that I wasn't ready for. I'm willing to bet most women in this world ain't ready for that. What I saw was not of this planet. If y'all would have seen a look on my face, y'all would have thought I would have saw a ghost or something. I'm telling you, anybody have heard me tell this story? I don't tell it often because it still shakes me to my core right now. But I seen something and I messed with something that I wasn't ready for. You would thought that with the amount of hips and ass that I had, that I'd have been able to accompany it. But that wasn't the case. Okay. So when I talk to these guys, I give them the spiel. I tell them what happened to me. And I just want to know straight up what I hate to say it like this because I don't like to talk like this. I don't like talking about up underneath nobody's clothes. But I really want to know is what kind of situation is that you have. Okay? Because I can tell you right now if it's gonna work or not. You may think you going, but I'm telling you, apparently I'm a small built girl when it comes in that area. Okay? So I want to know before you get all hot and bothered and all that, because I know this. If we're in a room and you are hot and bothered, you're going to look at me as the person to make you go back to the natural. Because I'm the only one in there. So before we even go there, I want to know what is the situation. I want to know what the fuck is the situation. What's up, Show Enough Dynamite? Y'all crazy. I'm just looking up at the chat. What's up, Lavelle? I'm being honest. I want to know what the hell is going on. Because when ain't no use for you to get all like that and then think I'm the one going to be the one that help you out. To help you get back to the regular. I'm not. So let me know that right now. And if y'all wasn't such a bunch of doxers, I'll tell you that boy's name. I'll go to his Facebook page right now. And I allow y'all to go into his inbox and ask him, is he too much? If you think I'm lying, you think I'm telling you the wrong or a story, I'm telling you something that's correct, baby. Baby, ain't nobody ready for that. So, if listen, I can't get it out, baby. I've been in shock ever since. Hell no. And nobody needs, that's too much for anybody. Let me tell you something. I like to do several things without assistance. That's walk and breathe. Okay. So, And there's no way in hell I'm gonna make it seem like it's a normal thing for some little girl to run up. It's shit. From what I'm told, it's some of them little boys that these boys, them boys playing all that basketball in them high schools and shit. So shit. How you think a regular old man? I know what happened to me. Shit. No ma'am. No ma'am. So I have that conversation. I don't give a damn that it may seem strange, but there is no use for you and I to get into something that I know that I ain't gonna be able to handle. Cause I'm trying to tell you, you ain't gonna get no pleasure out of it either. Cause I'm gonna lay there looking straight up at the ceiling, about to cry. I ain't moving, I ain't saying shit. So it ain't no use for me to be putting on. I'm not gonna act like I'm the baddest bitch and I can handle it and all this him. That's not me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. No, I cannot. If it's too much, it's too much. And when I'm trying to tell you, when I had that conversation with the Walker husband, he couldn't even believe that I was having that conversation with him. But I was dead ass serious. And I had him showing me with his hands what was going on. Because he's a tall guy. And you got to watch out for them motherfuckers. And if you ain't no superhero, if some of you motherfuckers are superheroes and shit, then go on ahead. This conversation ain't for you. But I'm talking about the women that's letting you know what. Listen, uh, exactly, Lavelle, exactly. Oh Lord, I'm talking crazy here. I see Poster Miguel in here and Miss Phoenix. Lord have mercy. some conversation I don't be meaning for y'all to hear. I'm serious. I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you. Ain't no use for me to act like I'm all that. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. It ain't going to work out. And you going to be complaining, and so am I. So it ain't no use for me to do all, I work with some, extra, whatever. But I'm talking about that ridiculous shit. Now you can go ahead on with that. Go and find you somebody else. Get you one of them champions that be all on them pornos and shit, and see if they can deal with it. Cause ain't no I can add and see that I ain't gonna be able to work with that. That ain't gonna work out. You gonna get you somebody else. I'm trying to tell you. So there ain't no way in hell I'm gonna make it seem like that with somebody under 18, severely under 18, can deal with no grown ass man. And then you run into, and this is crazy because I ran into like a couple of them that was way over the age of 18 or whatever, way over. And they thought that they still think, well, I ain't gonna say still think because I wouldn't know right now. But the last time I checked, they thought that weighing your ass out, pounding you consistently for 15 minutes was pleasure to you. They ain't checked with you. They ain't thought about changing it up. None of that. They thought that with like 15 minutes of wearing your fucking ass out. As we said in Florida, that nigga tried to Georgia me. Yes, yeah. Nobody ain't teach them because they think they doing damage. And technically they are. They think that they are the number one stunner. They're the best lover in the world. 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of wearing your ass out. I'm gonna tell you this story again. I don't know if I told you about this story, but that Walker husband. Y'all remember French roll, y'all? Anybody remember the French roll? And you have this is way back in the day. So I had the ocean waves in the front, the French wave in the back. And the French wave they be stuck with hair and shit. I had just got my hair done. James had just did my hair. And for some reason, those men like to mess with you when you get your hair done on that first day. Okay? And when I tell you, I never forget it. I tell you, I got some war stories I can tell y'all. Honey, that goddamn boy, that Walker, he one of them that think that his whole sole purpose in that bedroom is to wear your ass out. Just pressure from the same motion. The same, ain't slowed down, ain't nothing. And honey, let me tell you something. We in there, and all I know is my motherfucking bobby pins start popping out. I swear for God, start. If you want something, boy, let me tell you something. If I could ever get him on the line, honey, y'all would die. He would tell y'all, but baby, he'd give you a whole briefing. When I tell you my bobby pins start popping out the back of my goddamn French roll. I don't even know how to do hair. So now my hair done come loose in the back. Fucking with him. To knock the bobby pins out the back of my head. I ain't making this shit up. I'm like, hey. Yeah. Yes. Right, Redbone. We do not want a bladder infection. It's Sunday. Y'all having the sex. No, James. This hey James, but this went somewhere else. I have flashbacks. I have a flashback on y'all ass in a minute. And then it don't make it no better that probably, let me see, probably about 85% of the guys I've ever dated have been younger than I than I. I can't even talk now, thinking about it. They have been younger than me, right? So factor that in. I'm 5'8", so they be tall. Factor all that shit in and see what I'm talking about. Yeah, the bobby pins and shit. Just my French roll was done. It was out. The hair thing, the stuffing done come all out and everything. Now here come and I can't do hair. Here come I got to go to work on Monday, and all I could do is brush it out, brush the back out because I left the top in the deep waves or whatever the goddamn things, the ocean waves, that we call it here. And I just had to put it in a little ponytail in the back. The fuck? Yeah. To knock my goddamn hair out. And I'm trying to tell you, he had a habit of fucking up all my hairstyles. I would get to work, and Vicky and somebody of them, they be trying to brush it down and all that type of shit. All kind of shit. God damn. But let me tell you what I did, y'all. I grew a backbone. Okay, that I mean it like that. What I mean is, I became I start opening my damn mouth. Oh shit! I ain't. Wait a minute. Okay, scratch all of that. Scratch all of that. I don't mean to say. This is what I meant to say. Wait a minute. Oh shit. Oh, shit. No, wait a minute. Scratch all of that. Scratch all of that. What I'm saying is, I started like when the stuff was getting ridiculous or whatever. I say, hey, this don't feel right. This don't feel good. How long it's gonna be? Yes, I go to talking up. Yes, yes, yes. I talk up now. You're not gonna be here all night. I got to go to work in the morning. Shit. Hell. You want to tap you on your shoulder and shit. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and his ass is. This bullshit. I got to be up. Shit. Uh-uh. You ain't gonna do that. Nope. I'm like, you saw my ass walking around here at 10 or 11 o'clock. Why you ain't say something then? Fuck that. I start speaking up for my goddamn self. Y'all can lay there and be accommodating if you want to. Fuck that. I got to go to work. I got shit to do. And so that y'all know y'all heard this story. And so that's why I developed the passion. Yeah. I would negotiate. I was like, if you leave me alone during the week, on Friday and Saturday, we'll tear this motherfucker up. But if you leave me alone during this week, oh, shit, you leave me alone during the week, okay? Because I got to go to work on Fridays and Saturdays. And I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something special, okay? If you leave me alone, yeah, Red Bunny, yes. The truth comes out. I'm trying to tell you. That's how I developed that damn fucking thug passion. That's how I developed. Trying to negotiate. The fuck? Yeah. And don't just get nobody that don't have to be to work to like 10. The fuck? Like you got to be there at 10. I'm trying to get there early. Man, please. Uh-uh. Child, I used to come to work all bruised because I'm light skinned. I used to go to work all bruised up, all kind of shit. Like what the hell? So you can't listen to people with all this bad advice. And please, I don't know what you believe in or whatever, but if you are a mother or a father, I ain't got to worry about the dads. Because I know y'all don't, y'all be like, what? But please, don't get nobody no good idea that having sex with somebody older when you developing is a good idea. Because I'm telling you, as an old ass woman, it is not. There's nothing, I don't give a fuck who did it. Shit. Tear your ass up. Yeah, these men don't give a fuck. Men will tear your ass up. You be looking for the exit. But yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, this one girl, this dude, the dude I was telling you about, Almost gave his name. She swore that she could endure all that kind of shit, right? Let me tell you something, honey. When you been fuck around and see that thing, you better put your clothes and your shoes, your pocketbook, your keys in one location. Because when you see it, you grab all that shit and you gonna run out that room so goddamn fast, you gonna run past your car naked in the streets. I'm telling you, y'all. I hate to get graphic, but I'm gonna tell you. Because I want to make sure you scare the hell out your kids. Because I was scared at 19. Do y'all know I'm sitting, I'm on my back. We're gonna be because we over 18. I'm on my back. And do you know that boy had them went as far as it can go? And it was so much I had to look down. I looked down trying to see is this is what is this? Is this real? I was looking. I was trying to see in the dark. And it was more extent connected to him. I'm not making this shit up. I know what the fuck I saw. It was more connected to him. And what kind of shit is that? Hey, I'm tell you something else. Cause I ain't all in the pornos and in the back of the page 6 and all that type of shit. But when they talked about that man, the John Holmes man or whatever it is, this was about 4 years ago. I Googled to see what was his measurements or whatever, or see if I could get a picture of it, whatever, to see if that was the same motherfucker I seen, the same but a different man and different color. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all think I'm fucking around? I'm not fucking around. I know what I saw, and I definitely know what the fuck I felt. Are you crazy? Shit. I had to see if that was like human, like people like that, just everywhere in the world. Shit. I'm very analytical. Yeah. I Googled it. I ain't fucking lying. To see if that was like, because they say he was, that man was so ridiculous big, right? So I'm saying, okay, well, one that's something like what I had, and I Googled it. And do you know when I tell this story to some people, you be having girl time, girl day, and all this bullshit, and we talking about girl shit. Do you know some of them motherfucking girls be trying to talk about, girl, you still know his number? Like, bitch, is you crazy? Is you listening to me? Is you listening to me? Do you know we was at Walt Disney World? Y'all know how big Walt Disney World is? I was at Walt Disney World limping. You got me fucked up. I know what the fuck I went through. You ain't got to tell me. I was there. Yeah. So I told you his name right now. Y'all went go to his page, drop in his inbox, and ask him. You ain't gotta ask him about me. You can just say the girl if he can remember the girl that he scared the fuck out of in Orlando. He probably started laughing because the last time I saw him, I went to running and ducking and shit, and he was laughing. And let me tell you, we get back to we come from Orlando, and I was so mad. I was mad. I was mad as hell. 2 hour drive from Orlando to home, and I said I ain't gonna start no shit because I don't know. This motherfucker might put me out on the road. I don't know, but I'm gonna wait till we get on my street, and I'm gonna tell him it's over. So we get on my street, and I tell him, I was like, look, I ain't gonna be able to handle, And I was like, that was fucked up that you pulled that out on me like that, and whatever, you ain't said nothing or none of that. I said, so we through. We done. And he was like, like puzzled. So I never forget. He come back the next day, knocked on the door. I come out there on the porch with my hands folded. I was like, yeah. He told me, are you serious? I was like, yes. Yes, I'm fucking serious. Yeah. I ain't got to stay with you. Shit. The fuck. Big old motherfucking goddamn motherfucking thing. Fuck, I can't do nothing with hell no. He thought I was I don't know what he thought. He thought I wasn't serious though. Yes. We breaking up. Give a fuck. Shit. Let somebody else wrestle with that motherfucker because I'm not interested. Shit. It's another fool out there ready for that shit. I ain't ready for that. I'm 19. What the fuck? Crazy. Oh my gosh. Y'all, Jesus. Boy, I took hot baths and everything. It was ridiculous. I took Tylenol. I spare y'all all the damn details, but it was terrible. That ain't nothing you want to. There ain't nothing you want to. So, lady, please, y'all, stop. I'm listening to all these people that act like, being young and stuff like that with a grown ass man is like it's okay. No, it's not. One is statutorily, it's not okay, but physically, it's not okay. Mentally, it's not okay. Shit, I was 19, and you see, I'm still fucked up over it. Nope. I'm gonna tell you right now, baby. I ain't interested. I'm okay with the standard industry. Whatever. Of course, I got a little bit more now, but I'm just saying. Well, a lot more now, but I'm just saying. But listen here, he almost didn't make it. Oh shit! You almost his ass almost made it on the chopping block. I'm like, nope. I ain't been talk all that top shit and I'm the top bitch and I can do all this or whatever. Nope. Can't do none of that. I ain't got no little Kim raps for you, baby. I'm honest with my shit. Nope. Let me tell you something. When I had my baby, I had stitches from one area to the next. They had to sew me back up. I'm not fucking around, baby. Nope. No. Name Keith. That's what his name is, Keith. Can't tell you the last name because it's our last name. It's Keith. Shit. Keith put some on your ass. And I know it couldn't have been pleasurable. It was almost like he was stuck. Ain't nobody could move. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was having an asthma attack without no asthma. He got me fucked up. Shit. Got me fucked up. Yeah. Huh. He got something for your ass. And then when I saw him because when I saw him and then I was ducking and running and shit, he was pointing and laughing. He was with a girl. I was like, I know that girl. I don't know. She must be a champion because I can't do all that. Anyway, let me talk about some other shit. I'm about to flashback. Nope. But listen, so I was gonna talk. So that kind of rose me into this Kevin shit, man. That incest shit, that is crazy. The other shit is bad enough, but the incest, that's just too much. And he's not making it no better. Nobody's telling him no better. You know he kind of hard headed. Just and like I don't expect him to say I'm sorry I did it and blah blah blah. I'm not expecting him to say that, but I believe he should be heard, whatever it is. What he have to say. I'm not expecting him to say I'm sorry, whatever. This that the third. I just expect him to stop other people from victimizing those girls or harassing them and all of that. And unfortunately, he say he's gonna, hit Dana on Monday. And you know how we do with everybody. I don't care who it is or what it is. We'll listen to and look at it to evaluate it for the truth. If it's something to talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, we won't. I don't know what the ominous threat is. He keeps making by some 14-year-old. I don't know what the fuck is going on by some church. I mean, I got an idea what it is, but again, you can never be so sure because I'm hearing two different things now. So I'm not sure what it is. That's what I meant. I'm not sure what it is. I guess it'll be one or the other, or maybe both. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just so sad. You know, and I'm not talking about everybody from Chicago because that's apparently not the truth about everybody. It's just some of the people that we have encountered on this YouTube. They are very hypocritical. Now they be all in other people's business, all in everybody else's life. But when it comes to theirs, they don't want you to say shit. They don't want you to say nothing. What's up the hell? Hey, Star. Red Bunny. T House. What's good with it, babes? James Harris always comes to Star Trek. Hey, Dolores. I think I got Lavelle. Got Lavelle, his crazy ass. Hey, Quasia. Hey, Love's Fair. Show enough. Shaw. Was I know I saw Shorty. Hey, Shaw, baby one. Yes, honey. That was crazy. That messed up what I was going to tell y'all today, because my mind went in another other direction, honey. Woo! I'm thrown off now, baby. But it's so crazy. And again, I do have problems with how he talking to them subs and ordering people around and all that bullshit. So I don't like all that type of shit. You know, um, I'm glad I've established it where anybody know you can't call and tell me nothing. You can't tell me who to deal with, who to talk to, who to have over here, or none of that. All right, okay. Like I used to get people, well, not a lot of people, like a couple of people. It come from the same area, and I'm not talking about the Snake Squad, the so-called Snake Squad. I'm not talking about them because they've never told me anything about keeping Debo off my channel and all that type of stuff. They never said anything to me about that. But others, would try to come to me and try to tell me about some goddamn, keeping Debo, like whatever it is. And it's like, are you serious? Like, I don't tell you who to have on your panel channel, and you have people that I don't like. I don't tell you shit about that. So you definitely ain't gonna tell me about a motherfucking thing. I don't get into nobody's beefs and shit like that. I know how to stay out of it. Like, that's between them two. That's between those people. Let's see, when people get into it, that's when the shit goes left, right, and up and down. So I don't get into that type of shit. I really don't. I like everybody to have they say. Shit, I liked when Angelo came out and had his say. Because you're getting different sides, different perspectives to what the fuck is going on. Not just one side and all of this, whatever. You can kind of say, okay, now wait a minute, you can see what makes sense and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? They they get to address things or whatever, the stuff they have on their, you know, on their minds, whatever. You gotta think about it. Some people be having stuff going on Twitter, Instagram, and stuff. I don't follow none of that shit. Some people can be speaking on those things. I don't give a damn. It don't matter to me. But I know how to stay the fuck out of it. That's what I do, and I'm not no hypocrite and shit like that. But, mm-mm, child, and and I know I talk a lot of. I was thinking about the other day. I always talk about the bad times with University of Florida and Mr. Walker. I always talk about the bad times with them. But I can honestly tell you, with them and along with just about everybody I've ever dealt with, when it comes to caring for me and making me a priority and showing me some level of respect and stuff like that, they did those things. So everything wasn't a damn just some shit that just was bad all the time. So and I thought about when R. Kelly said people that never said nothing good about me, right? So so I was thinking about that. So I don't want nobody to think that they were all bad because that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. I can tell you that University of Florida, when I was sick or something like that, he would take off. He would, rub my areas or whatever, get in bed behind me and all that type of shit. All of it. And I wasn't, I mean, one time I was just, you know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't even get up to take my child to school. And I had to trust him. And he took her to school. It wasn't too far. You best believe I checked what I asked. Well, ain't that happened, did it? Did something like this happen? Whatever. Like, no. And and she was at that age old enough to, to be able to tell me. So, so yeah, that was. So I ain't gonna tell you everything was bad because it wasn't. It was not. So I'll tell you that. What else I was? But but pretty much you hear the guys coming out. Well, I'll say the guys that are coming out speaking about this shit is going on. Me, I like stand up type people. You know, that's just me. And I definitely like females. And what I was really looking at, I was really more looking at the team, because I already know what team lock them up, how they feel, right? I know they not with none of this. But I was looking at the ones the team kills women, and to see, do they know how to separate support for an individual and support for the allegations, the allegations, or would they be the type of individual be like, fuck you, and you know, both ways of support, which is which is what I prefer, because it just makes sense with regards to this type of shit. But you have some people, and you have some people supporting the person and kind of justifying their behavior. And that's when you have to look at them like, hell no. Hell no. Mm-mm. If you was just, you want to support a person because that's just who you are, that's your heart, or whatever. But by no means, no way, whatever, are you down with what the fuck has come out. I can, give you 51% on that. I won't look at you crazy. Maybe just a little side eye. I won't look at you crazy. But when you start supporting somebody, you know, and then you justifying what the fuck that shit is, what's going on. I can't do that. That made me look at you like, So whatever. Let me get this reading on the way, because I done wasted y'all time long enough, child. Let me get this paperwork on up our prayer. See if we can see what the hell happened. Yeah, so but yeah, I'm a firm believer in people getting their story out and shit. Getting their side out. Because that's the only way we gonna get kind of figure out what the hell is really going on. So let me read this, then I'll drop the link. I can hang out a couple hours with y'all today. And again, thanks again for all y'all. Are you gonna go live? Y'all get an excuse. We need to explain this so y'all know damn near as much as I do how to read this shit by now. That's just an excuse for me to come go live. But I appreciate it though. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's see. It says Defendant Kelly's motion to excuse for cause potential jurors who have seen any portion of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. Oh, let's see who wrote this. Hold on. Must be J-Bo. Hold on. Okay, J-Bo, the strategy master. Okay. So let me tell you what this means. So the jury selection starts Monday, tomorrow. What she's trying to do is box the prosecutors in, right? So, because listen to this. You have two types of excuses, right? You got preemptory excuse, which you have a certain number of those, right? In Fed. And then you have excuse for cause, right? And I believe it's unlimited. It may be a number, but I believe it's unlimited. And in this process, the judge pretty much conducts it, but it'd be the questions from the judge be asking the questions that's submitted from both sides, right? And then both sides, and the judge can also excuse a juror. Okay, the judge asks questions as well in feds, if I still remember. So what she's doing is The prosecutor may fight to have keep somebody on the stand, on the jury. That's okay. The prosecutor may get somebody, try to keep somebody on the jury that watch Survivor. She's trying to make a motion to have anybody excluded. And see, the judges have leeway. They can act according to procedure, and then they can deviate from it. You know what I'm saying? They can do all this type of stuff. So she's trying to make a blanket automatic. Hey, they should be discarded. They should not even be considered for a jury. Because remember, if they, even though they've watched this and they've heard about his allegations and all this, that, and the third, they can say, but I can still be fair and unbiased. And I can make a reasonable decision with regards to one's innocence and guilt based on the evidence that is presented. Not what I heard, not what I seen, or any of that. So she is trying to block it. Just say, hey, people shouldn't be allowed on there, period. I don't know how Lennon Webber would rule on this. Because that could be a case where shit, if he rule on this and say, okay, yes, granted, if there's a pool of 100 people and 95 of them seen the shit, it's gonna take a long time to pick a jury. So I don't know how they're going to um, reconcile with this. But I don't know if she makes any remedies or anything in this. So let's get to reading it. Let me see what we have. Okay, so now comes Robert S. Kelly, defendant, by and through his counsel, Jennifer Bonjean, and respectfully files this motion to excuse all potential jurors who have watched any portion of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, where the docuseries one explores exact allegations that underscore this indictment, including Kelly's 2008 prosecution for child pornography of minor one. Okay. Number two includes extensive interviews with several individuals expected to testify at this trial. And three contains numerous allegations of other misconduct that is not and will not be introduced during this trial. Okay, so let's stop right here. Now that was a mouthful. So let me tell you what I think. Okay, well, it says number one explores exact allegations that underscore this indictment, right? So that's pretty much self-explanatory. That whole Surviving R. Kelly was about the underage stuff and the abuse and all this, that, and the third, whatever. And it underscores this indictment, including the Kelly's 2008 prosecution for child pornography of minor one, right? So that information was in there. So she is hitting. I'm not saying this is going to be granted, but this is a well prepared motion because she's doing several things in one briefing. And this is stuff you have to point out, right? So she's saying right there that these things are going to be prejudicial. On top of just watching the Surviving R. Kelly, right? Okay? On top of just watching that. She's also saying that that docuseries goes into shit that could be prejudicial to the jury. Number two, it includes extensive interviews with several individuals that is expected to testify, right? That can be prejudicial. That can already give somebody a bias. Somebody can recognize that, oh, that girl said this or whatever, and say, okay, yeah, I remember that story. And I thought it was believable then. I'll sit here and listen and it may reinforce what that juror already thinks with regarding that particular person that's giving testimony. And three, it says it contains numerous allegations of misconduct that would not be introduced at the trial. So remember, Judge Lennon Weber ruled on that motion in limine where he granted some things he denied, because it was a mute point, and he denied some things or whatever. Remember the I don't know if it was, I think it was on that, well, it could be in one other place where the prosecution said that with regards to several things like Aaliyah and some other things like bad acts, what I think is some of the things that they would not introduce that stuff at trial. So they said that they wasn't going to introduce it. So I'm pretty sure that's what she's talking about. But let's keep reading. Says any potential juror who has watched any portion of this docuseries must be disqualified for cause, irrespective of whether she can be fair. Because remember, I told you, as long as they said they could be unbiased or fair, whatever, they should be able to sit. So now I do know that she's trying to box the prosecution in. Okay, she's trying to take that particular weapon from them, take it off the table. I should say that. Okay. So it says where too great a risk exists that such juror would base his or her verdict on matters not introduced into evidence in the courtroom. Okay, so that's going back to like a lot of this stuff. And I don't know if I don't know if they address would surviving R. Kelly be or portions of it be played for the jury, whatever. Probably not, because they said that they wouldn't introduce the bad acts or whatever. So probably not. But just in case, she's covering all bases with this, which is a good thing. But I'm just not sure he's going to grant this, because this would be too, how can I say this, too it's going overboard, right, with what is actually needed in a courtroom with respects to jurors. Of course, you want to make sure your jurors, you can't make sure they are sanitized of all things R. Kelly. That's not going to be possible. You can kind of streamline what they know about R. Kelly, you know, and kind of get a feel of what they feel about it, and if they can be unbiased. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to grant this, but I don't know what her remedies are. I don't know if she got something else in place or whatever. So I mean, we haven't read this, so let me go. Let's see. Since number one, Surviving R. Kelly is a Lifetime documentary dealing detailing sexual abuse allegations by numerous women against the defendant. It aired in January 2019 and was Lifetime's highest rated program in 2 years. In January 2020, a second season premiered on Lifetime titled Surviving R. Kelly 2: The Reckoning. Surviving R. Kelly is largely credited as the impetus for the wave of criminal charges that followed its premiere. The docuseries devotes significant attention, indeed entire episodes, to the subject matter of this trial. For example, episode 3 is titled Sex Tape Scandal, which explores the sex tape that was the subject of the Kelly's 2008 prosecution. Relatedly, episode 4 is titled The People versus R. Kelly, which addresses the 2008 prosecution and the allegations related to the first 8 counts of the superseding indictment. 3. Indeed, the docuseries contains extensive interviews with some of the government's witnesses in this case, including Lisa Van Allen and Geronda Pace. Other individuals who appear in the docuseries are identified as potential witnesses in this matter, including Stephanie Sparkle Edwards and Andrea Kelly. Shit. There is substantial overlap between the subject matter of this prosecution and the subject matter of the documentary. Okay, she got a point. Number 4. Furthermore, Surviving R. Kelly contains hours of interviews with individuals who share a litany of other allegations of sexual misconduct against Kelly, including some allegations that the government has already conceded it would not introduce at trial. So, okay, so that is what I was saying. The government in that, I think it was that motion in limine, that they said it wasn't going to introduce at trial. Okay. So it says, just by way of example, the docuseries discusses allegations against Kelly in connection with his relationship with Aaliyah when she was underage. In response to Kelly's motion in limine, okay, the government has already conceded that it will not introduce evidence related to allegations surrounding Kelly's relationship with Aaliyah. I remember that. This court acknowledged the government's concession, finding Kelly's motion moot in light of the government's position on this issue. Any juror who watched the docuseries would be privy to such information that has already been excluded at this trial. She make a good point. She make a good point. Because she knocked this out. I'm tell you why. Because she's saying she's putting pressure on him now. Because she's saying the government said they would not even introduce any type of evidence or anything with regards to these issues. And Surviving R. Kelly addressed a lot of the issues that the government said that they were not going to introduce. So how can you let a juror sit that says that they watch Surviving R. Kelly? That's like letting in evidence that the government said that they wasn't going to allow. Let's see what else she says. And like, I love to hear what the goddamn prosecution gonna say with regards to this. This gonna be good. It says, in light of the foregoing, there is no scenario under which any individual who watched Surviving R. Kelly could be qualified as a juror in this case, whether the person admits it or not. Any person who has seen the documentary will possess information about the allegations in this indictment and unrelated allegations that would unquestionably interfere with his or her ability to decide this case based on the evidence that is introduced at trial. Remember, I told y'all, the jurors have to base their decision on the evidence introduced at trial. No one, even a well-intentioned person, would be capable of purging his brain of information obtained through the docuseries or separating information learned from the documentary that was never subject to cross-examination from testimony introduced at trial on the same subject matter. That's what I said earlier, J. Bo. Okay, girl. Number 6, the Sixth Amendment provides that in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a trial by an impartial juror. U.S. Constitution Amendment 6. One touchstone of a fair trial is an impartial trial of fact. So in this case, it would be the juror, because this is a jury trial. A trial fact can also be a judge. It says a jury capable and willing to decide the case solely on the evidence before it. Case law says a juror is not impartial if his experiences, opinions, predispositions, biases, prejudice, interests, or relationships would prevent or substantially impair the performance of his duties as a jury in accordance with his instructions and his oath. Reference. Not only must potential jurors with actual bias be excused for cause, But courts have found that when circumstances create too great of a risk of affecting a juror's decision making process, even if the juror is not consciously fully aware of the impact, a juror must be excused. Crawford versus United States. It says in 1909, holding that the law says that with regard to some of the relations which may exist between the juror and one of the parties, bias is implied, and evidence of its actual existence need not be given. Oh, okay, go on, girl. Case law. Let's see. In 1982, O'Connor J. It says concurring, determining whether a juror is biased or has prejudged a case is difficult, partly because the juror may have an interest in concealing his own bias and partly because the jury may be unaware of it. Case law. It says the Seventh Circuit in 1992 stated that recognizing presumed bias in extreme situations, where, for example, the prospective juror is connected to the litigation in such a way that is highly unlikely that he or she could act impartially during deliberations. This type of bias is called implied or presumed bias and is determined as a matter of law and attributed to a prospective juror regardless of actual partiality. Jurors are considered impartial so long as they can conscientiously and properly carry out their sworn duty to apply the law to the facts of a particular case. Reference. A request to excuse a juror for cause must be supported by specific causes or reasons that demonstrate that, as a matter of law, the juror is not qualified to serve. Case law. In certain circumstances, juror bias will be presumed and the juror must be excluded. For example, where the juror is related to one of the parties or has a financial interest in the outcome of the case. Case law. It says, in this case, a potential juror who has seen any portion of Surviving R. Kelly is actually prejudiced, where there is simply no scenario under which an individual exposed to the contents of Surviving R. Kelly can be impartial. Some potential jurors in this case who have completed the questionnaires acknowledge as much, but some potential jurors who have seen the documentary have indicated that they are still capable of being impartial. This representation is, in a word, absurd. 10. This case presents one of those rare circumstances where bias must be presumed by individuals who have seen Surviving R. Kelly, because the viewer has already gained an understanding of the specific facts in this case through television interviews with actual witnesses. Even the best intentioned individual would invariably view a witness's testimony from the witness stand through a lens of whatever bias he or she developed after watching the same individual provide her account during a television interview. That's what I said earlier. So she's making a very, very good case. Don't know if the judge would grant this. I'm pretty sure that the prosecution, I don't know what part of Crawford that that they can use to counter this. I don't know because I can't remember right off. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to find some type of case law or something, and it may even be mandatory or primary law. Remember, which Trump's case law that they can come back and use with regards to this. Maybe something under the fabric of the law, maybe dealing with the Sixth Amendment and the right to be tried by your peers, and the jurors, can be unbiased and being, they'll play it up. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. 11. To be clear, this is not a simple matter of a jury being exposed to negative pretrial publicity. Indeed, every prospective juror in this case has probably been exposed to some negative pretrial publicity about Kelly. Rather, this is an issue of potential jurors possessing a mountain of information about the specific allegations in this case. Oh, this is good. And the witnesses' stories that will play center stage at this trial and may or may not be admissible. Oh, that's good. Because check this out right here. Surviving R. Kelly isn't the Bible. Okay? It isn't while the the documentary can be admissible, but it got to be relevant, relatable, and reliable. And it got to bear out some facts. It got to prove the elements in the case. It has to deal with that, and it has a lot. So portions of it, if not majority of it, may be inadmissible because it can constitute, it could fall upon the hearsay. It could definitely be he said, she said. It wasn't evaluated for the truth. So there's a lot of issues here that that would make portions of that documentary inadmissible. Okay. Although a documentary is admissible, but certain things in that documentary can be inadmissible. Okay. That if anybody can understand what I'm saying. So it says allowing an individual to sit on this jury who has seen surviving R. Kelly is no different than allowing a juror to sit on the jury who was permitted to preview, the discovery in this case. Right. So okay, because she makes a good point. Because the discovery, everything in the discovery won't be admissible. And even if it was admissible, it may not even be used. So if you sat up there and the jury sat up there and saw all the discovery, they could be prejudiced. All right? Because remember, the motion in limine is that whole process in which they go through and shut down defenses and disallow parts of prosecution cases, right? The judge also will shut down, I said shut down defenses. And it also go through that part where the judge disallow, evidence that is not relevant, relatable, reliable. So she makes a good point. A good point. She makes a good contrast between the two. In the conventional criminal case, in which the jury is asked only whether guilt has been proved beyond a reasonable doubt, the bias or prejudice of even single juror would violate a defendant's right to a fair trial. Oh, she hit that out of the park too. So she's saying if you just allow one person on there that don't watch that docu-series, that would violate, the rights to a fair trial. In her argument, right? Because it only takes one juror to fuck everything up for you. Number 13. Thus, this court should excuse for cause all potential jurors who have seen any portion of surviving R. Kelly, and those potential jurors who have been exposed to pretrial publicity about this case must be scrutinized and questioned to determine whether they are capable of serving as an impartial witness. Okay, and let me go check the footnotes. 1. For the purpose of this motion, Kelly seeks to incorporate the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries, which can be streamed on Netflix at that HTTP. And then we have two. Just by way of example, the following clip is a portion of an extensive interviews from survivor R. Kelly with one of the state's star witness, Lisa Van Allen. It is difficult to imagine that any juror would be equipped to listen to Van Allen's trial testimony with an impartial viewpoint and without allowing prior information received during the documentary shade her assessment of Van Allen's in court testimony. This is precisely the scenario the law prohibits. So remember, I said, so when they say in court testimony, that relates to hearsay, because hearsay is an out of court testimony. So remember, I said that that documentary will have contain hearsay, he said, she said, and it wasn't vetted for the truth, and this, that, and the third, right? Okay, so y'all see that they pretty much backed up what I was saying. I backed up what they were saying. And let me take that down and come on around and drop that link. And I'll see what y'all talking about. Let me see if I can catch some of these comments. Um, hey, Star. Hey, DC Radar. This tuning in. This is beyond the beyond. I'm not sure what that means. What's up, DJ Amazing?
What's up? I heard this motion. I stand by what I said the other day with you. This is not going to be an open and shut case. I think he has a fair shot this time around in this trial,
Yeah,
based off the
I
information that
think
you've
it's
been
even up.
providing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, based on the information that you've been given, I think he has a fair shot this time around. I think it's an even playing field.
Yeah, it's a lot fair. It's a lot fair. He got listen. This lady seemed like to be a little goat with the strategies, honey. And I used to teach it, so I know what I be hearing. Let me tell you something. I done taught every goddamn thing under the sun. I don't really. What's up, Skyline?
Hey, I'm here. No, I thought I was gonna be first. He done beat me to the to the
He done
panel.
beat you to the damn thing, girl. What's going on?
Nothing. What's good, y'all? Hey, Shay, what's going on? That's DJ Amazing, ain't it? I can't see.
You
Yeah.
know it.
Okay, what's good? What's good? What y'all? Man, Bojo. Look, I'm about to say Bojo. Bojine again with another great one. This is what I'm gonna say with this. And I'm gonna be in and out because I gotta give me something to eat. But the same thing that she's saying that applies to this case, why wouldn't it apply to that case? Because I said that, in the New York trial, you can't unsee something. You can't unprocess something like that. So wouldn't they, I guess you're going to use that in the appeal process. Is that correct? How that will have to work now?
You talking about for the New York situation?
Yes, because they
Yeah,
were,
she could bring that up. She definitely brought it up on the post conviction motion. That's something she can bring up because
okay,
that would fall up under the issue of the law. So that would be that. So you could do issue of the law, facts, and procedure, right? So
okay,
also how she ruled, evidentiary, ruling.
okay. That's what I was wondering, because I was like, I hope that she's able to run that back in an appeal to say that the jurors, help support that the jurors were already biased. Some of them, prior to sitting down. But I think it's a good motion. And when I heard you, I was kind of in and out, but I heard you read some of it. She, like you saying, she made some good points, very valid points. And like you saying, is if they already ruled not to bring in certain information, then why would you allow an outside entity to already have affected the juror? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it gets. And this is, I want to see what this judge is going to do, because I haven't seen a ruling yet, right? Have I missed it? A ruling?
Yeah, he
I,
made a ruling. Child, he just be all over the place. He works my goddamn nerves. Um, he does it. He do it either like oral entries, oral entries, or and it'd be like he'll handle a whole bunch of things at one time, or if he do it in a brief, he'll handle a whole bunch of things at one time, child. And they don't be putting it in right. They just put it. They call it miscellaneous relief and all kind. They name it all kind of shit. You just have to pull up every goddamn thing to see what he
uh,
talking about. So, you know,
because I'm trying to get an understanding on a judge, because I felt his last judge was biased. So I'm trying to get an understanding on this guy to see if we doing another New York thing, or is he at least gonna get a halfway decent shot at justice.
That's why I said to her, since she's been reading these motions, I think this time around he has a fair chance to either win or damn sure get an appeal through this one.
I mean, it's so many shenanigans that went on in the New York trial. It was just atrocious. So if he just doesn't get an appeal there,
If he would have had Bajin in his first case, I don't think it would have been as bad as it got for him.
I agree. We agree on that. I totally agree. It wouldn't have went down as we see. It wouldn't have went down because she like this. They let the people see the documentary and sit there and say that could be fair and all that. But I mean, that's just like what we see on the internet. Okay, you hear things about people. Okay, just even me. Let's say people that subscribe to my channel, they watch me, they hear me talk, they hear what I talk about. So people they have judged me already. Okay, I like this about her. I like that about her, or I don't like her at all. You see what I'm saying? So same thing that's happening to Kels now. You already have got information that you made a judgment on, and you can't really unknow that type of stuff. So I think this is a good motion.
yeah, it is. I mean, I think it is. And the only reason why I don't know if it's going to pass. One, I think I don't know. The prosecution may do something that may shock us, and they may agree with this. I don't know though, but because they have agreed to some strange shit. Agree to not
Yeah,
to introduce this,
yeah,
introduce this,
yeah.
agree not to introduce that, and that usually don't. If it had to be New York, baby, put it shit throw every goddamn thing on your ass.
Exactly. And you know what that's telling me, Angie? For me, how I feel, my opinion, I don't feel like they got as strong of a case that they do in New York. Because like you said, in New York, they putting it all out there. Now it seems like they being a little bit more, I hate to say the word strategic, but they're not as thirsty to put charges on him that I don't think they can substantiate. And I want to ask you this. Let's say they open this door and they grant people to sit on the juror that saw the documentary. Can then Bojine team and McDavid's team and Brown's team say, okay, well, since you opened this door, we want to know the background of the documentary. Were these women actually giving coaching classes? You know, did you know at this time that certain people said that this documentary wasn't factual? Can they then put in motions to question the validity of the documentary? Do you understand what I'm saying?
if that documentary is entered into evidence,
Uh-huh.
then of course they can,
Okay.
question,
They can go into it. Okay.
pieces of it. Now they are the the if the prosecution asks them questions that they spoke on in the documentary, the defense can come if they got some challenge to it, whatever. They can come with that. Like they said, but you said this in the documentary, you know. So
Oh,
if that,
they can
so
do a
if
correct
so,
contract.
this is what will happen. If the prosecution feel there was some type of lie or something like they told, they're
Yeah.
gonna stay away from that question
Oh,
because
also,
they you have to
oh,
open the door for the
so
other
they,
side to walk through.
or, like
So
you said,
whatever
they can.
someone, huh?
No, I'm sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
So when whatever one side asks, the other side get to follow up and question it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
But if
you
it's
say,
not brought up, then you can't go there.
so if they say motion denied, they could bring it up, or the jurors could say that they saw it. Then we could question it. The
No.
chaos attorneys, can they question?
Question the jurors or question the people that was in the documentary.
I guess question the documentary and kind of be like, well, they saw this and we feel that this information, but if it's denied, that means that they stopping it right there though.
It seems like it's already pausing if the jurors and saw the R. Kelly thing because they mind have already predetermined his outcome. So I think it's part. I don't know the correct terminology, but it's pausing to the fruit to me.
But this is
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
that's
say.
what she's saying. That's what J Bo is saying. But what? So this is what will happen, right? So if he, grants it, then this that ain't gonna be no point. But if he, denies it, and there are some people that get on there that say they saw the documentary and they know about his 2008 case and they know about this, that, and the third, then what will happen is they're gonna ask on, going down the line, they go to questioning them. They're gonna ask in those sub questions to get down to the basis of it, based on whatever you've heard or whatever you know. Can you still just make a judgment based on the evidence presented at this trial? Can you be fair and impartial? Can you, if they say yes, then they may be allowed to sit as a juror.
Okay, here's my question with that.
Well, no, hold
If
on, hold
he
on, hold on, DJ Mason. And I just thought about it. The prosecution may come back, and I don't know, and they may say it's going to be impossible to find people that never seen the documentary, never heard R. Kelly's 2008 cases, and whatever. Remember, y'all, we in Chicago. So how is this going to be possible? But go ahead. That might be one of the rebuttals they have. Go ahead, DJ Mason.
okay, that's what I was just gonna come to. How do you know if they select a juror that's bullshitting, that's saying, yeah, I could be biased, I can make a judgment. How do you know some of these jurors ain't bullshitting their way on the jury just so they can hang R. Kelly? How do you weed out the bullshit people?
Well, you really, really don't never really know. They don't really never know. They try to trust what they say. They try to gauge and get a good feeling if that juror, is telling the truth or not. That's what they'll do. They can't really, you really can't be for sure.
Okay,
So
so
really, and truthfully, there's no way you could just bullshit your way onto the jury and say, yeah, I can be fair, but then don't really be fair.
You can, but I'm just saying, but that's just the cost of doing business in law.
yeah, they did it in the New York case. So why wouldn't they try and do it here?
Right, Shot-Town OG, it does go both ways. And you know what? I didn't even know that you was a dude all this time. The last night.
And
So
see,
what
this
you
is
say, Scott?
I like. No, I said they did it. I said the jurors did it in the New York trial. I said that they could be fair, and then got up there and did what they did. But this is, I think the good part about it is if they allow it, then they could say, okay, well, you testified to, well, you said this in the documentary, but you are now testifying to this. Then they could challenge testimony then if they allow them to use this, correct? Or jurors have seen this, I should say.
You low, Sky. I can't hear you. What you say?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna switch phones because this one. Okay, I'm saying this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so if they allow jurors to sit for the trial that have seen the documentary, can Bojing's team question, like you said, they can say, okay, well, you said this in the documentary, but now you testifying to this. They could challenge testimony.
If the prosecution bring up something that was like in there, you know, if the testimony, if it seems something similar, then the defense can say, well, yeah, but you said this in the
So,
documentary. You know what I'm
so
saying?
the open door is not just the fact that the juror saw it. The prosecution then has to bring up something referring to the documentary. That's what you're saying. In order for them
Yeah,
to have.
if the prosecution bring up something referring to the documentary, then of course the defense can jump on that. But even if the prosecution bring up something, you know, with regards to the documentary, the defense, depending on how they ask it, can ask this, can challenge them on what they said. They said, but you said this, you know, where you're lying. Are you telling? Now you can't say where you're lying. I can't say that. I'm sorry. But, you know, do you remember saying this? They'll say it like this. Do you remember saying this in the documentary? You understand what I'm saying? They'd have to say it like that. Do you remember saying this?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be interesting.
Yeah. It
Interesting.
will be. It's gonna be interesting to see how you rule on this.
But see, this is my thing. If they this is and see this is the part that I guess glitches I don't like with the law. So if the jurors are able to sit there, have seen this documentary, then I feel like the uh the defense should be able to challenge what they've already seen and present, you know, contradicting information that they saw in it. But without having the prosecution bring it up. Because if you already know this information, you've seen it, so you already, you're familiar with it. I just think the defense should be able to now say stuff about it or correct it, give corrected information about it.
No, the surviving R. Kelly, we don't know if that's gonna be introduced in the trial or not. That don't have anything to do with what the jury questionnaire is. If survive, because I'm thinking that surviving R. Kelly is not going to be introduced in there, so that's going
Mm-hmm.
to be out the window. So if the prosecution asks a person that's on the stand a question, like let's say for instance, um, Lisa Van Allen, they asked Lisa Van Allen, okay, like how were you when you was, when you met R. Kelly, and she say 17, right? Well, just say in the documentary she said 16. The defense can say, well, didn't you say that you were 16 in this documentary or whatever? And they said, well, you know, and she said, well, no, whatever. And David said, well, but were you, I'm trying, they're trying to establish, were you telling the truth then or you telling the truth now? You know what I'm saying? Which one was which one was it? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This might This might take out any question, any rebuttal, any defense rebuttal using the documentary. Because if they already ruled that they're not going to introduce it, use it as evidence, and I'm pretty sure that it's in discovery, that probably would knock out the defense's rebuttal. But you said this in the documentary because now you're bringing it up. So yeah, that might not work. That ain't gonna work. I'm just thinking about it. They can't use that documentary.
Yeah, it's just sad that you could know that these people know this information. And I'm thinking that the prosecution is going to be smart enough not to tap on it because they know. Because I think that they would have used it in the New York trial if they thought, if they knew it was a factual media, I'm almost sure they would have used it then because that was some messy, muddy stuff. Everything was on the table in that trial.
Right, like, and it's in defense a little crazy, arguing to keep jurors who've seen the, I mean, it'll be touch and go. It just basically because I don't know what the discovery is. I don't know everything they not allowing and all of that. What they going, you know what I'm saying? I don't know because so stuff that happens in social media, interviews, all that type of stuff is admissible. Will it be admitted? That's another question. But it
Okay.
is admissible, and then
Okay.
depending on what you open the door to, that may give way to what the challenge may be to it and what they use to challenge it. They can use an old police report to challenge something you said or all of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's going to be a strategic thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to see if they squirt around that goddamn documentary or if anybody bring it up. Because remember, like in, um, I think was it the defense that brought you Shabazz documentary?
Uh-huh.
I think they used his documentary to show something in the New York case. So
Yeah.
it just depends on if they're gonna use it, what they're gonna use it to illustrate with, what the line of questioning would be, or whatever, who brings it up, whatever. It depends on a lot of shit.
Now let me ask you this. Okay, so okay, I gotta make sure I formulate it right. Okay, so if the judge comes back and agrees with what Bojin has wrote and says basically yes it is prejudicial. I'm sorry I don't say that word well. Can we assume that that's a good thing that might help Kels in his appeal that the one judge has stated it was prejudicial, or is it
I
not?
don't know because it's not going to crisscross in both on the cases, because this is another set of circumstances, different elements, and all of that, different jurisdiction. And in New York, that's a whole new this situation.
Okay.
So yeah, so if they say that it was, if that judge said it was prejudicial, now she could, in her motion, I'm not her motion, in her appeals, if he writes an opinion about it or whatever, say that he felt like it was, prejudicial or whatever, or whatever she used from, if she could use it from, she can include that in her appeal.
Oh, and her okay, and say that the judge in Chicago thought that it was okay, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, because the trial would probably be in this would be an answer before her written appeal would be the appeal has been filed, but I'm talking about the actual paperwork,
Yeah.
so she could include the, if he said that this was prejudicial, and then just like you, it'll be just be like, United States versus Kelly. Um, what is it? The whatever district,
Right.
Northern District of Illinois, 2022 held that the surviving R. Kelly was prejudicial. You'll see that, written like that in her, her appeal for New York.
Okay. Cool.
Hmm. Yep. So, hey, Alvira, Marquine, Marquin. I don't know why I'll never say your name right. But I know how to pronounce Marquin. Chi-Town OG. I did not know Chi-Town OG was the dude till last night, huh?
Yeah, he made a comment a couple weeks ago. I can't remember how I knew he was a dude though, but he made some type of comment a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I can't. I'm far away from the monitors. That's why sometimes I can't even see. Sometimes I'll be struggling to say them words and
No,
shit
on
because
my
I be
glass.
way away,
Yeah, I
huh?
got it. I ain't got my glasses on. That's why I'm squinting. Like, I wonder. Okay, so why you so happy for him to be done, Chi-Town OG? He's done.
Oh
Why?
Lord.
Why are you happy about that? I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, just me, people. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
okay.
kick
That's
people
just me.
down. I just don't do it because I know what it brings about. But just curious. Just curious. I'm about to walk my big fat ass to this car real quick.
You so crazy.
I'm hungry. Shit. Gotta give me something to eat. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
So what
uh-huh.
else been going on?
Child, we been talking about that stuff that's going on with Tyson and all. That's pretty much that dominated the damn streets.
You know what? Let me hold on. Let me. I might have to switch, but I want to make a real. Hold on, y'all. I can't touch the community door. The monkeypox.
Oh, you crazy.
And y'all still hear me? And can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I was listening in bits and pieces, and whew, hot, child. Hold on, y'all. Turn the air on in this. Okay. The thing that I have a problem with is people trying to compare, like the man girl over there was trying to compare this situation or the dude situation to Kale's situation. They not comparable. And that's why I know it's only certain channels I could go on and certain channels I could listen to and people I could talk to because the two are not related. They're not related in any way. And for people to always try to have to bring up Kale's in a situation, it's pitiable. Like if you can't analyze a situation and determine, like they are Kelly, that Kale's crazy. Like you seriously on this dude nuts, hanging off his sack, like everything they sleep this dude, and it's like he has nothing to do with what's going on with the other dude. They're not comparable, and I just don't understand why people always want to try to act like any type of sexual abuse, or I should just say sex. They automatically throw Kale's name in it, and it's sad. Some people just not on. They just not on the level, and I understand that, but it is what it is. I just wanted to say that I heard people got mentioned yesterday, but I ain't get to know. I just wanted to make sure my comment got on the table in regards to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard too many people tying those two together.
It was just a
People
fat man
tie,
that did it, and then Levi came back and was like, let's not compare them. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different thing, which it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Whole different thing. Incest ain't got shit to do with willing participants. Okay? Two different ball games.
Oh Lord.
You know I get in it.
Oh Lord. Not the willing participant.
You know. You know how I feel. But see, other people, they have the right to see differently, but never can you. With me, it's a non-issue, non-factor, not to be discussed. It's two separate things and that's why people don't really understand. Because when you take somebody, abuse somebody, and take something from somebody that they didn't want you to have, that's different to me than you running outside somewhere, running into something that you can't handle. Okay, just like you said earlier, because I caught the beginning when you said the dude when you was 19, it
Yeah.
looked to me like you ran into something. So that's
Yeah, that
different
was too much.
from them taking it from you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's two
Yeah,
separate
that was
things, you know.
that wasn't fit for nobody 19, 20, 21, 22. That was too much. Hell no. Uh-uh. Baby. That
You
was too
like no,
much, baby.
too
I
much.
can imagine nobody under, I can imagine like 14, 15, running into some shit like that.
And that was
Child, girl,
funny.
y'all would see my damn face. I never forget that. Long as it shaped my whole perspective. I went forward with my damn life. I said, honey, these men gonna just think I'm crazy, but we gonna have to have that conversation. The fuck? You ain't gonna
And, that,
never.
and that's why these young girls, you got to be careful, because don't run into a situation that's bigger than what you can handle, and then you want to try and blame somebody else. You made the choice. You made a bad choice, so accept responsibility and be accountable for what you did. Just don't make it again. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, honey.
That's it.
Uh-uh.
You
I'm
said
just
you said that was unnatural.
yeah, you have to watch your messages out him because some people was acting like okay, well that's and I understand about the grandmas did all of that, but ain't no grandma I know seen nothing like that. Hell no, you crazy. Hell no. Mm.
That is funny.
I wish I can boy, I wish y'all could drop down that inbox and ask the question like, dude, is it that serious? He probably started. He probably started laughing.
I tell you.
He have to
I
go
tell
somewhere else, honey. With his skinny ass. He was so skinny.
Oh, he
That
was scared.
shaped him.
Oh yeah, yeah. People be thinking the skinny men. Nah, wait. Let me before I speak and lie. There's some skinny guys that need to sit down and don't ever need to get up. Okay,
Oh
but there's some
no.
skinny guys they are they are well endowed and yes, 100% men.
Yeah, he was about 6'2". He was about 6'2". He was about 6'2".
Yeah, that's why I like them
Acting.
basketball players, the football players, the athletes.
Yeah. Going on with that shit. That's that
Tall
bullshit.
men.
And baby, when I tell you, because I'm telling you, I wasn't minding my own business. And when Kobe Bryant got caught up in that jam, out there with that white girl, and I
Oh
read
God.
his file and read his interrogation and all of that. And I also,
Yeah.
it's a long time ago, I also got his cell phone number off there, but I never did call it. Because I know by that time he probably had to change it. But I never did call it, but I sure enough took it down. I sure enough jotted it
His
down.
phone number
Well,
was
I
on
was,
there.
when his cell phone, yeah, it was on there. And what yeah, I was, when I, you know, I wasn't minding my own business, y'all.
Promise you.
Oh, man. I
I would
wonder
have
do I,
called that number too.
I wonder do I put the number somewhere. Let me see if I look on my old phone. How long? That's been a long time ago. Yeah. Well, that's within 20 years. I might still have it. I had it. I know I had it saved in this little. Oh damn! I like the battery went on that thing. I know I had it in my little blue thing I had before they had all these gadgets and shit. Let me see
Right.
if it expired in my other phone. Hold on, let me see if COVID right
I'm gonna try and switch because I don't think my audio
now.
is good.
Yes, but let me tell you something. When I read in that paper, when I read in his papers, he asked that detective. He said he thought he hurt the lady, and he said because he's big. That was I ain't lying. That what Kobe said.
Yes, he did. I remember that. Yes, he
Kobe said
did.
he's big, and then
Yeah.
when one day when he got hit in it, uh, you know how some people be adjusting the, up there, where
Yeah.
you would think you'd be adjusting. That boy was down there by his knee. I said, "Fuck that. That's crazy. Fuck that."
Said it was by his knees.
He was when Kobe Bryant get hit in his go watch any footage
Yeah,
and
you're right. You're
and
right.
he be adjusting it and pulling on it. It be right down there by his goddamn knee. Shit.
You're right. You're right.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yes, Lord.
Everybody else be up close, up top, up close.
Uh-huh.
You way down there.
Yes, Lord.
I be
So
like, fuck that. You are in
God,
the friend
man.
zone. It ain't that serious to me. I don't need that.
You
I don't
right.
need all that in my life.
That's
That's too much. Child, please. Yeah,
hilarious.
I wish y'all could have seen my face. Oh, y'all could have seen my face. Ooh.
So
If
you
y'all
was
got
like,
to know everything what's wrong with me, anything happening to me, my child will tell you. Just watch her face. Her face will tell you whether she mad, whether she finna hit you, whether she happy, something done went wrong. She done keep thinking about something. Her face will tell you just what she thinking. You ain't she ain't got to say, boy, my face will tell you.
I'm
I'm
the
looking
same way, Angie. You
for
people
real.
be looking, they be like, yeah, because they'll say, like, you ain't say nothing, but your face, like my eyebrows, and I make a facial expression like, ugh. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm the
like,
same way.
what's
Yeah.
going on with the chat? Lord, I don't have the chat business. Y'all take care. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yes, honey,
I'm going to get
I'm
my
I'm just
glasses.
that way. I'm just that way. I don't want nothing to do with nothing like that. Ever.
And you know what I remember about that case that I'll never forget? Oh, Jesus. He picked a thought too. They remember they said in the when they did the rape test, she had more than one guy's pubic hairs in her panties. Oh,
Huh?
you're they when they did the rape test, they came back and said she had more than one man's pubic hairs in her
Oh
panties.
yeah. I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
nasty, nasty.
Yeah. Listen, I was just so thrown off in that man's paperwork, honey. I done told everybody. I said Kobe Bryant said, he was wondering if the girl was all right because he's huge. I'm like, hell no.
Ooh, he
Is
said
she
he had.
all right?
Ooh.
What
Well, he know
the
better
hell?
than that on people. You know, if you
uh-uh.
huge, why you whipping it out on folks? Keep that thing up in there. You can't
Uh-uh.
be whipping that out on people.
Okay, without a proper notice.
Yeah.
And here you go with that shit.
He
Boy, if I don't, boy, I will karate chop your ass. Get your ass on away from me. Get your ass away from that bullshit. You go find somebody else with that. Hell, you go get you somebody else.
I,
That's ridiculous.
that is hilarious. He gonna
Yeah.
say hating ass. Gonna make me have to walk further. Damn. Look at him. I
Yeah.
always be at the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Where are you at? Where you going?
I'm going to Texas Roadhouse and give me a bone in ribeye. And they rolls. Ooh, they rolls be so good, Angie. I promise you. I ain't
Really?
supposed to eat them, but
Oh, we got a Texas Roadhouse here.
yes, they rolls. Oh, is he finna hit me? Jesus Christ. Um, they rolls are so good. They like sweet rolls.
Oh, okay. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Quincy's. Did y'all have a Quincy's? Them rolls that you get from Quincy's. That is one of them. It was one of them type of Golden Corral type situations. I ain't fucking around in there. I just go and get them rolls.
Oh yeah, Golden Corral got some good honey rolls.
Yeah, Golden Corral got some good rolls, but I'm just saying, but I can't do that buffet like that. But
On
that
Corral.
Quincy's, Lord have mercy. Them goddamn uh them rolls they have, oh shit. And let me tell you, what was I'm having two thoughts. It's this place, they done shut it down and they turned it into one of them internet places where they gamble and shit. On go there to one little spot and they gamble with the machines and shit. They
Mm-hmm.
play the little casinos online where I forgot what the name of that restaurant. They used to have this catfish in there. Now it was one of the better type of buffets. I have eaten out of that a couple of times because they got them catfish in there and that sweet potato soup plate. Man, shut up, yeah. Tear it up. Tear it up.
I love some good food, especially some good rolls. I promise you. All right, let me run and get my food, and I'm gonna switch phones. Oh, that's a security guard. I thought that was the police. That's security. She don't count. And then I come back up here,
All right,
but
Lynn.
I'll be back. All right, y'all.
All right. Honey, yeah, Karen, I don't like them buffets either. But that one particular, and I'm gonna tell you now, I ran into we went to Orlando, and I don't know if that place is still down there, but it used to be it's called Jay's China somebody, and I think it was on International Drive. It was a Walgreens on the corner. Anybody that live in Orlando know what I'm talking about, whatever. And that used to be my one of my favorite restaurants. And a couple of people have taken me there. Like, you want to know where I want to go eat at? That's where I want to go eat. And University of Florida. See, University of Florida, he wasn't all bad. He took me there for my birthday one year. And his cousin, who I was originally supposed to date, that's a whole nother story. Um, he rode with us. And he was like, I can't believe that you taking her all the way down to Orlando to eat. Like, yeah. So he had a lot. He had some. He did some good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he got on my nerves. He did some stuff to where he got to the point where I just disliked his ass. I can tell you that right now. I couldn't stand him. Yeah, I could not stand him. And what makes it so bad, one of those situations where, the mama like you, the daddy like you, the grandma like you, and all of that. And I wish let me tell you, so he's very family oriented. Hell, they they have like a family real estate club or some shit they had going on. They also was kind of structured like my family, like we stayed like we had a bunch of family houses on several streets and some streets named after my family, whatever. But we, we it kind of was very similar. So one day, I was trying to say, and when my mind dropped that quick. Oh, I was trying to tell you about his mama. So his mama, she was young and she was had battled with cancer a few times, right? So when I started dating him, she had an appointment to do an MRI. Now you know how them MRIs do. He sent me with his mama. I was like, okay, to sit there and whatever, to hold her hand or whatever. And I had to talk her into getting it going into that damn machine, child. And it's crazy because I done had to go with a couple other people. And it'd be me talk like one of the guys I had called, not this last time, but one when I did a 23 on back, one of the friends I had called, one of the guys, had to go with his ass. He wanted not to get in the goddamn MRI machine. It's always a problem. Well, anyway, because I can talk him into getting in that goddamn machine. So, but she was super saved. So was the grandma. She had got tired of taking that chemotherapy medicine. So of course, they started going to the religious stuff, right? And it was so bad that after she stopped taking that medicine, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna get off here. After she stopped taking that medicine, it wasn't that much longer. She ended up going to hospice. Like she died in her 50 somethings. Her mama ended up going in the hospice the same time. And do you know they died one day after each other? Yes, they died one day after each other. They were in a rooms right across from each other. So guys made it easy for the family to see each other. And they died one day after each other. They really did. And he got mad at me because I ain't come to the funeral. I didn't want to disrespect his goddamn wife. And he was mad at me. And it was like, and I wasn't really in I just said, I mean, I'm friends with him. I don't do all that. That's disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful like that. That's not what I do. I know somebody with somebody, whatever. I fall all the way. But I don't care how much he called me with none of that. I don't care. I'm good with the family, the friends, and I'm not. That's not what I do. I'm not thirsty. I'm definitely not the goddamn cleanup woman. I'm not the second in command. I'm not none of them type people. So yeah, I didn't do. I didn't care for that. I didn't care for that. And he would act like he was so devastated. He was mad at me about that. I was looking for you, and everybody was asking where you were and all of that. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Yeah. And here's the thing: had he never told his wife or his girlfriend at that time who I was, I probably would have popped up. Because I could have kept walking past him like I didn't even know him. But I would have told my child, listen, don't speak to him. Just keep walking. When you see him, don't speak to him. You know, I'm just not, I just don't do that. I'm respectful like that. I don't do that. I don't have to. That's crazy. Well, that's my time, honey. I'm going one of these days, I like story time. One of these days, I'm I'm gonna pick out the stories I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna talk about some more stories because I see y'all was laughing at my goddamn incident. Hell, I should call it accident. Shit. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But the name is Keith. I want. Ooh, child. Boy, I wish I can give y'all his his locale, and so y'all can drop down in that inbox and ask him what's really good, and see if he start laughing at y'all ass. See, see what his reaction will be. Oh, oh Lord. Uh-uh. But anyway, y'all, let me get on up off here. Sky, I'm gonna have to catch you on your channel or somebody else's channel because I'm fixing to go. I just looked up and I done kept these people hostage for almost 2.5 hours. So check this out. Thanks again to the panelists, the host, the hostess, and the guests, and everybody else. And make sure you do this: love yourself, love somebody else, and do something good for someone else. We put another one in the books, y'all. Until the next live, peace. I love you. Thanks for your participation. As always, bye.